Hello, my name is Ryan White. I am the co-chair of the Dialogues on Freedom program, and I am joined here by my colleagues, the Honorable Kevin Rosenberg of the Los Angeles Superior Court and Aaron So. Thank you very much for joining us for this training. For those of you who have participated in the program before, we welcome you back. And for those of you who are new, we are excited to have you. Dialogues on Freedom is a wonderful program in which judges and attorneys visit high school classrooms throughout the county and engage with students in discussions on various topics with an eye toward building an understanding of the Constitution and civil liberties. In doing this, you will have an opportunity to make a huge impact on the students in your classroom and inspire them as they forge their path in the world. Today, we're going to talk to you briefly about what to expect as you participate in the program. To begin with, you'll receive an email from one of us in advance connecting you with the teacher. Please contact the teacher well in advance of the program to iron out any details, what time they'd like you to show up, where you should park, any security considerations, and also to get a sense of the expectations that the teacher has and any preparation that the teacher might or might not have done with the students. This will give you a good sense of what to expect when you arrive so you can hit the ground running. And once you arrive and you're engaging with the students, please remember, you are there to stimulate a healthy and respectful conversation and to get the students thinking about the law, their rights, and how society balances competing interests. Each student will have her own views, grounded in her own life experiences. Your job is to tease out those views and to guide the students as they explore the issues at play. Your role is as a guide. You are not there to lecture or to correct or to discipline the students. At all times, please engage with the students in the respectful manner that you and they deserve. Any discipline or behavioral issues should be handled by the teacher. Aaron?
Thanks, Ryan. So as part of the Dialogues on Freedom process, as soon as you're matched to a teacher and a co-volunteer, you will be receiving a couple of materials from us. The first is going to be a manual and reference material set, which provide you some helpful tips and tricks on how to conduct your session, similar to what we're going over today. And it also provides you an overview of the prompts. The prompts are a separate document that is provided, which include several different situations and scenarios that raise constitutional issues that you'll be going through with your classroom. It also contains a number of questions for discussion with your students. As mentioned earlier, the manual and reference materials provide additional insight for you to review that has applicable case law, as well as helpful hints on how to approach certain subjects. We encourage you to read all of these materials, both the prompts and the manual and reference, so that you know what to expect during your discussions with the students. We also encourage you to reach out to your teachers to ensure that they will have copies of the prompts available for their students, and also encourage you to reach out to your co-volunteer to make sure that you coordinate and are able to discuss and determine which portions of the reference materials you'd each like to cover. So when you arrive to the classroom, the first thing you'll want to do is introduce yourself, perhaps give a bit of an overview about who you are, what you do in the law, as well as your path there. We also encourage you to ask the students what they know about the Constitution and if they've heard about the Bill of Rights. To the extent they haven't, we encourage you to discuss briefly about the Constitution, its role in our society, as well as provide an overview of some of the portions of the Bill of Rights that we'll be covering in our materials. That's namely going to be the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and Fifth Amendment. So now we'll go over a sample situation from our prompts this year. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I can't. Sorry about that. Okay, so reading from the materials from the 2023 set, which we'll make available on our website, we have the scenario called Hotel Search on Prom Night. It states that a group of students at Cranston High School rented a suite at a hotel near the site of their prom for an after the prom party. School authorities were tipped off to the students' plans and were concerned because last year a student got drunk at a similar after the prom party and was involved in a very serious car accident. The school authorities decided to alert the police and suggested that officers go to the school at midnight and break up the party. Upon arriving at the hotel, the police spoke with a hotel clerk who provided the police with the room number where the students were staying and a key to the room. The police then went to the hotel room and using the key the hotel clerk provided, entered the hotel room without knocking. Upon discovering the open liquor and beer bottles in the room, the officers arrested several students for underage consumption of alcoholic beverages. The rest of the students were told to leave. Once the students have had the opportunity to read this, you don't need to necessarily read it aloud as I have. You'll first want to ask them what portions of the Constitution do they think were implicated. And once students start responding, you should ask them why they think that portion of the Constitution is at risk or at stake in this scenario. Oftentimes, you won't have a student volunteer, so it's okay to go ahead and call on a student. Once you have them starting to talk, you can raise up some of the questions that we've included in the materials. For example, do you agree with the students that they had a right to have the party? Yeah, some students may say they agree and disagree, but I always encourage our volunteers to challenge those students and ask them to argue on the other side as well. So if you go through the rest of the materials, you'll see that there's different questions which pose different scenarios. So for example, one of the question asks, what if, would your analysis change if instead of the police coming to the door, they saw a student in the hotel lobby drinking and instead followed and chased him and arrested him? So this brings up some of the materials that we have about exceptions to the Fourth Amendment, including the hot pursuit exception. So we encourage you to look at our materials and then try using these additional questions. Judge Rosenberg?
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Ryan. Again, welcome to everybody who may be joining us for the first time, and welcome back to our returning volunteers. You are really the backbone of what makes this program work. So we appreciate your time and commitment. Just a couple closing points. I want to reiterate, the prompts are a starting point. You do not need to cover all of the prompts. We would really prefer you to get into a healthy and engaging conversation on just one point rather than rushing through the material just for the sake of covering it. You'll find that sometimes the students come up with the most incredible, powerful arguments and really demonstrate interesting ideas and a depth of understanding and appreciation for the things that are going on. So we'd love to see that kind of conversation go on. Secondly, try to draw the students out, even the quiet ones, with questions. Feel free to move around the room and call on students. You don't want to embarrass anybody, but it's okay. A lot of times the students will respond. Try to ask them easy questions just to get the kids engaged and participating. Feel free to use the Socratic method to change the facts in the prompts to explore the limits of the students' thinking and their arguments, and try to probe the idea of how society and the law balances a variety of competing interests in arriving at decisions. And lastly, you may be the very first lawyer or bench officer who these kids have ever seen or had a chance to talk to. So you have a chance to leave a really positive impression on them. So have fun with it. You're there to have fun. You're there for them to hopefully have a meaningful experience and inspire them to learn more about the law and their rights, whether they go to law school or not. We've heard a lot of feedback over the years about kids really having a great time with this. So if you have any questions throughout the preparation process, feel free to reach back out via email or contact. The contact information is on all the emails that you'll be getting. So again, thank you very much. We're very grateful for you and your time. Anything else, Ryan or Aaron?
No, very well said, everyone. And thank you. Aaron, do you have anything further?
Yes, please be sure to let all of your friends and teachers and fellow lawyers know about the program. We're always looking for more volunteers and teachers to participate to spread knowledge about the Constitution and the impact that this great event has.